Good evening, Zimbabwe. Welcome to another episode of Kerina Live. My name is Kerina Mujati, your favorite comrade sister. In this episode, I'm just going to speak about what Mliswa has been ranting about on his 8 minutes audio. We have heard Mliswa condemning corruption, condemning Chiwenga. According to Mliswa, Chiwenga is the most corrupt person in Zimbabwe who is supposed to disclose his assets and source of earnings, how he managed to have all those things. Mliswa, you mentioned to say that it came to your attention when Chiwenga was going through a divorce. If you will be talking about Jocelyn was somebody who had money. Jocelyn was somebody who had lived in the diaspora before. She had her own money. That's why she had companies. So before you start waffling, just because somebody is a man in uniform, you must also do your research. And for Mliswa to have such blinkers, beggars belief. Mliswa is the least qualified person in our nation to be standing in front of us and try to educate us about how to be ethical or how to be an upright person. Mliswa is a career criminal. When he was in the UK, he was deported. He did not leave UK on his own will. He was deported back to Zimbabwe, and then he jumped on the bandwagon of land reform, trying to fool people that he was deported because he was supporting the war veterans. He spoke about the land here in UK. That is a lie. To those people who lived in Birmingham, you know a case of Temba and one guy there in Temba, you know that case. So stop poking us. And also, whilst you were living in Luton, you were also known for corrupt things, and which you left so many people, you messed up so many people because you were operating an illegal home office service, whereby you would make Zimbabweans and other Africans who were desperate, you would tell them that you were connected to the home office and you would stamp fake UK immigration stamps in people's passports, and that is why you were deported. And I'm sure you are not even allowed to come back because you are a criminal. So when somebody is a criminal, they tend to not see their criminal ways. They will only have a big mouth to waffle about. What have you achieved yourself? Even with your rugby, you're always talking about nothing. So, Mliswa, before you stand in front of Zimbabweans and you'll be sending those audios, you must inspect how you behave, what you have, how did you earn those things you've got in an ethical way. You grabbed Paul Westwood's businesses. You grabbed another white farmer's farm in Urungwe. All you have is through dodgy earnings. You are a thief. You rob people of their hard work. And then one will ask again, can you tell us, Zimbabweans, how you got into ZANU-PF? You got into ZANU-PF through the back door. Those days, you used to say, Didmas Mtasa was your sekuru. Because then Didmas Mtasa had a powerful position in ZANU-PF. So you would write on Didmas Mtasa's name. And you would say that Didmas Mtasa was your sekuru. And then you say Emerson Mnangagwa is your sekuru. Kodacha Gwire is your sekuru. So many people are your sekurus, mkomas. That's how you are a green grass snake. When you are saying that Chiwenga must declare his assets, yes, Emerson Mnangagwa declared his assets. Yes, Emerson Mnangagwa and his family, the sons, daughters, sons-in-law, Bazukuru, next of kin, the Henrietas, the Rushquires, the Mahenkovas, the Mashavas, the Chiwaras, the Materos, have they declared their assets? We all want to know all those 9 surnames linked to the Mnangagwa family. They must declare their assets and how they earned it, their source of earnings. We must, before you start telling any Zimbabwean to declare their earnings, their source of income, you, Temba Mliswa, and your sister, Mary Mliswa, you must practice what you preach. You are the first people to declare your source of earnings, how you earned everything that you claim to have in your life. And then you can start asking other people and questioning their source of wealth. Because your source of wealth is through selling out, endangering other people's lives so that you live on. You are somebody who survives on the grapevine. You are a man who is known for a big mouth, who runs his mouth, and you always survive on grapevine by endangering other people's lives. Maybe you think that people, they say you were responsible of Parent Shiri's death, and you think that Zimbabweans are scared of you. You have endangered many people's lives, and there are so many people who do not like you. And all this ranting you are doing is because you were caught pants down, and the whistleblower was ahead of you. So instead of you, like you had planned to do that, you were going to do a presser conference with the HSTV, Blessed Mhlanga, as Blessed Mhlanga was asked to do an interview with you in exchange for his prison ongoing courts. So because the whistleblower said it, you did not go ahead with the press conference. Instead, you went on your X handle, and you started writing your nonsense because you were paid that money. Temba Mliswa, when it comes to corruption, we can take you back during Gono's time. You looted also the RBZ. Have you paid that money? When it comes to Command of Agriculture, you looted as well. Have you paid back that money? During land reform, you were robbing white people, innocent people, robbing them of their hard work. For you to be even telling us Zimbabweans to say that when you speak, honestly, our Zimbabwean ancestors, our Zimbabwean gods would not find somebody who is ethical in Zimbabwe, a man who befits kuti ashikirwe, ataure kuti zvokufamba munyika zvoita sei. Vane matare enyika vakanyarara, havana dzungura winaro. Vanoziva zvinofanira kuitwa muZimbabwe, handifungi kuti vangamboita background kekuti munhu anzi Mutera Njanja akabva kumumbwa ozouya ndiye anozosvikirwa nana mbuya nehanda nana Chaminuka nemamwe masvikiro ese. Iwewe zvako wotemba. Please stop that. So when you say Chiwenga is a man in uniform is corrupt, you are even trying to say Chiwenga is the one who is responsible for the 15 billion which disappeared at Chiadzwa. Temba Mliswa, was it not Emerson Mnangagwa, your dearest Mkoma, Emerson Mnangagwa, Shumba Murambwi, the cursed one, who was the minister at that time? Was he not the Minister of Defense that time when the Chiadzwa looting was going on? And you need to ask us, why would you say that a commander was in charge of what went on at Chiadzwa? As far as I'm concerned, in any common sense, any sane Zimbabwean will remember pretty well that Emerson Mnangagwa was the Minister of Defense, and he was the looting one. He's the one who was taking all the diamonds and everything they're getting from Chiadzwa, and he was looting, abusing the Ministry of Defense, especially the army. And then you come out and you say that it was Chiwenga who was looting Chiadzwa. Yet we all know that it was Emerson Mnangagwa who was at the helm of defense. It's just like when you are trying to spin to say that, Mnangagwa was not responsible of Gukura Wundi. Yet we all know that during Gukura Wundi as well, he was the minister as well. Everywhere Emerson Mnangagwa has been, there's a trail of disaster, there's a trail of looting, there's a trail of blood, there's a trail of misery. But you tend to try and speak to us, the nation of Zimbabwe, as if we are fools. We cannot see things. There are so many Zimbabweans who've got so much to say about Emerson Mnangagwa. Not very nice things after all. And you are not the least qualified person to be telling us or trying to educate us how Chiwenga is corrupt and how Emerson Mnangagwa is not corrupt. How can a Sean, how old is Sean? How old is Sean, a mere soldier, be driving those cars and doing all that kind of expensive life? Can you tell us, where did Sean get all the source of income? It's through corruption of his father and also him looting with his Collins, the gold, and doing all these illegal things. You are complaining about the Chinese looting. You are even blaming Chiwenga. Is it not on record that Christopher Mutsvangwa always bragged that he is the one who is in charge of the Chinese? He uses his time when he used to be an ambassador in China. Why was Mutsvangwa redeployed when he was recalled from China, from the People's Republic of China by Robert Mugabe? Can you tell me? Because you think we people, we don't know what was going on. Can you tell us, Mutsvangwa, can he not tell us himself? Why was he recalled from China by Mugabe? And Mugabe asked Mutsvangwa to go to France. And Mutsvangwa refused to go to France because he knew that he had no influence, because France is just an appointment. But is it influential? No. So Mutsvangwa, that's why Mutsvangwa was so angry with Robert Mugabe, because he was recalled from China, from the People's Republic of China, because of the same things he's doing now, dirty dealing. You want to associate Mkanya Chiwenga. Are you not the very same person at Mliswa who was saying, oh, Mkanya is Babamdiki, Emerson Mnangagwa, Bamkuru. So you want now Babamdiki to tell Bamkuru what to do in his house. Or if you think that Mkanya Chiwenga is ineffective, why can you not go and tell the Chinese, don't you have your ex-handle? At one time, I remember I wrote about the Chinese conduct in Zimbabwe, because we all know that no migrant in China would do those kind of things. Right now, they are destroying the Christmas past. They've destroyed Boterekwa. Would you go to China and start building or start farming rice along their Great Walk in China? Would anyone do that? Would anyone, any Zimbabwean, any migrant go and do what they are doing in our nation? And who is the president of Zimbabwe? Is it not the same Emerson Mnangagwa who flew to China to sign some deals by himself? Do we know? Did he tell the nation what deals he was signing in China? And then you want to drag Mkanya Chiwenga's name. Where does Mkanya Chiwenga fit in? Where does Mkanya Chiwenga fit in? Who is in charge? You are equally confirming that Emerson Mnangagwa is not in charge of our nation, because he cannot make decisions which are in the best interest of our nation. That is what you are basically telling us on your 8 minutes audio. You think you are spinning something good to cleanse Emerson Mnangagwa's image, yet you are exposing Emerson Mnangagwa. You are even saying that the Chinese at Manise, they have managed to take out about 7 trillion back to China. And now, out of that 7 trillion, can you tell me how much did they pay as taxes to the government of Zimbabwe? Can you tell me, in terms of investment as a foreign company? And who else is also benefiting from Manise? Is it not Chris Mutsvangwa, who even brags that is called Manise? Is it not same Emerson Mnangagwa, who you are trying to defend and you are trying to distance from the Chinese? When it was discovered that the Chinese at Manise, they were trying to mine gold in the disguise of steel, and they were caught out, was Mutsvangwa and Emerson Mnangagwa not part of it? Are they not floating together? Because Mnangagwa, Christopher Mzwangwa, they are looting bodies of these Chinese. So because they've been corrupted by the Chinese, they cannot challenge them. The Chinese are upright people. If you are in upright government and you tell them that we don't want what you are doing, you should respect our laws and everything, they will respect. But they've seen a free fall of a very, very corrupt government. So they say the citizens are intimidated by the government, so they can't stand up to them. They are going about with big machetes. They are harassing our people because the Chinese know that Mutrangwa, Mnangagwa, Chitando, and Kazembe, the son of Mnangagwa, are protecting these Chinese. Kazembe is facilitating all this. How can someone come from China with a visitor's visa? With a visitor's visa, you must not have any recourse to public funds. You are not supposed to be working in Zimbabwe. You should come to Zimbabwe with your own money to spend in Zimbabwe. But the Chinese, they are coming empty-handed, but they are going back with very fat bellies and very fat pockets, and nobody's challenging them. And now you want to blame Chiwenga for the mess the Chinese are doing. Is Mkanya Chiwenga the president of Zimbabwe? There was a poster board which was done by Palm Golding, whereby it was in Mandarin. Did you challenge it? Some of us questioned it. That dominance, and nobody's talking about it, and you want to blame Kanya Chiwenga. We're sleeping on the job. Our borders are not protected, and it is Kazembe. The Chinese are coming. They're given, they come, they don't even pay much on the visa. They don't even, I'm not sure how much they pay. I have to check that information. They are not contributing anything to Zimbabwe. The next thing, they've got machetes, they've got guns, they're abusing our people. Mnangagwa is not condemning it. Yourself, you are not condemning it. Only at one time when I wrote something about it, that's when you retweeted and made a comment about what was happening in Zimbabwe. But don't try to blame Mkanya Chiwenga. You are exposing Mnangagwa, and you are exposing yourself, the hypocrite you are. You stole money from Command Agriculture. You took money from Gono. You even, was it the Zifa elections were going, you were paid money to make way for Tagurei's candidate. Did you not get money for that? Now, you were supposed to do an HSTV presser with Blessed Mklanga, and you were caught pens down, and you took some money. Now you are doing the cheap talk, cheap propaganda. Zimbabweans, they know you, Themba Mliswa. You are one unethical man. If you are a woman or a man who doesn't respect their body, you are typical one of them. One thing you should understand when you'll be telling us that urishikiro unezvo nokutuma kuti utaure. Hakuna zvinokutuma kuti utaure Themba, because you are a dirty. Hakuna mudzimu unogara pachina yemurume yakafanana newe. You don't even respect your naked body. Une trailer yevanhu vakangofanana naEmmasodambudzo Mnangagwa wotaura kuti hanzi wewe unosvikirwa. Emmasodambudzo Mnangagwa shumba murambwi wotaura kuti ndiye mwene mutapa. Mwene mutapa wekupi? Musade kuti jairira imimi vanhu vakabva kumumbwa. Right now you are trying to protect the loot in Marsh West. You and your sister are not supposed to be having farms in Marsh West. Our constitution says one man, one farm, which means one family, one farm. You and your sister, you've got farms in Marsh West. Are you from Marsh West? And then now you are called Sabugu Themba. How did you get that Sabugu thing? You are a headman title. Somebody from Zambia to be a headman in Zimbabwe. From Mumbwa, did you get the headmanship from Mumbwa? You are trying to protect all these things because you know without Emmasodambudzo Mnangagwa in government or in power, you are nothing. And you know what you have done to many people. You know that many people, they want to have you raw. That's why you are coming out with this cheap propaganda. But don't try to associate Emmasodambudzo Mnangagwa's failure with Mkanya Chiwenga. If you say Mkanya Chiwenga has got too much wealth, he must disclose it. Emmasodambudzo Mnangagwa, with his harem of wise girlfriends, Ganandas, including yourself, you should also make a public disclosure of your earnings, your source of income, what you own, your source of wealth. from his children and everything. And those people he uses to grab buildings around Harare. And those people at the deeds office who are doing all the dirty work for him. So, Themba Mliswa, you are not talking to fools. Zimbabweans, they've got so much to say about Emmerson Mnangagwa. The people of Zimbabwe are suffering and they are busy out there waffling nonsense. Apana kana shigirora runokutuma. Akuna kana mudzimo kuZimbabwe unokutuma. Vanhu chaivo vemuZimbabwe. Vane matare enyika, they are there but they are quiet. Iwowo zvakomutera njanji wekumumbo utaura kuti handizvoni une midzimu. Munoita chinganga chenyu zvetsotso ndo zvamunogona zvamunozikanwa nazvo kuti munodada nekuita tsotso, kudada nekuita mbinjiro, kudada nekukwadza vanhu nemishonga. But munofanira kuziva kuti kune vamwe vanhu vasingaitirwe zvemushonga. Ndozvaunofanira kuziva. Zvokuda kuswera uchikesidzira vanhu pamaaudio kuti une zvinokutuma. Zvinokutuma zvipi? Zvinokutuma zvekusiya uchiita vana vanenge vanosvika 25. Mudzimu upi unoda kugara patsvina yokuti nhasi wabvisa bhurugwa warara nauyu, wabvisa bhurugwa warara nauyu. Mudzimu upi? Hakuna mudzimu wakadaro. Kana nesu wakaenda wakanotora mudzimu yekurombe inonzi imbereka, maybe ndiyo uda kutaura, but zvokuti utaure kuti hanzi unosvikirwa something, aiwa hakuna mudzimu unokusvikira Themba. Hakuna midzimu inobatsira inokusvikira, nekuti vane mudzimu chaiyo yakachena, vanhu vane mwoyo wakanaka vanenge vachida kubatsira, noti mbavha dzinenge chida iwewe. Even your sister, you are fighting for your sister to remain as a senator there in Marsh West. Even here, your sister was just a benefit cheat, just like you, who was a criminal here in UK, and then you want to be preaching to us and everything. Leave Chiwenga out of your nonsense. Emmerson Mnangagwa is unwanted. The people of Zimbabwe do not want Emmerson Mnangagwa. The people of Zimbabwe, Emmerson Mnangagwa, to be relieved of his duties in peace and respect the people of Zimbabwe. He can try to force Mashikiro, he can try to force Nganga to say, oh, you can stay in power. But when the day comes, he's going to go. Zimbabwe is a nation which has got its own people, and the Shumbas are not even at any given time, especially the Shumba Murambwis, the ones who did the abomination of committing incest. And then you think those people will be Emwene Mtapa. Satambenezu, Emwene Mtapa, who commits incest with such a surname, Shumba Murambwi, the unwanted one, and they think they can force themselves on us. We are not going to be forced. Ask the Soko people, everyone in Zimbabwe, nothing but Shumba. The people of Zimbabwe are not going to be suffocated, whereby we are going to be molested by somebody who doesn't love the nation, who only wants to enrich himself and his children. This is my message to you, Themba Mliswa. Don't think that you are the only one who's got a big goal. You are a thief. You have looted our nation. You live by the grapevine, endangering other men and women's lives for you to survive, so because you want you to look after that your children. And if you think your children, you're going to groom them to be like Mnangagwa, we'll make sure that it's not gonna happen. And I'm telling you this. So stop telling us all this nonsense. You are a danger to a person. That's why you are always saying, oh, Sekuru this. Everyone is your relative. And before I close tonight, I would also want to say, Mliswa and Mangwanya and your people, just stop the nonsense what you're doing. One thing you forget is I'm not an easy target. I'm not a pushover. And you should know that. I'm not an easy target. I'm not somebody you think you can push over. You try to play your cheap psychological games with me. You don't play psychological games with me. I'm ready for you. You yourself, Mliswa and Mangwanya. I said your name, and I've said what I've said about yourself and your wife and everything. Why can't you just come out and say you did not do those things? Why don't you still do that? You think I'm an easy target? I'm going to be waffling because you're pushing me, you're doing this. No, I'm not doing that. You come out yourself and say, no, you didn't do that. Totangire papo, man to man. Man to man. Totangire papo. So you are going to achieve sending all these people to intimidate me and drag my name in the mud. No, son, I'm not an easy pushover. I might look weak in your face or vulnerable, but I'm not. I'm red, I'm a stallion. I'd rather be a lone wolf than a wounded one. And I'm watching. And I'm not going to be intimidated. So, Mliswa and Mangwanya, you own up or you shut up and you tell your people, these desperate people who think I'm going to speak about them to get mileage using my name. I don't have time. You tell your guys, your small boys and whatever, small boys and small girls, to say that they can blow up bubbles for all I care. Do you understand me? So Mkanya Chiwenga and all the team, we are saying we are behind you. The people of Zimbabwe are behind you. As myself, I speak for many millions of Zimbabweans who are praying for you, who are waiting for your leadership. And we pray that our ancestors of Zimbabwe will deliver you. We pray that the gods of Zimbabwe will guard you. We pray that the people of Zimbabwe's prayers are heard by our gods and the mighty Lord who is up there. So Mkanya Chiwenga and all the team, stay safe. We're doing the campaigns. Ugandandas will try with their money, but money will not buy them what they think they are going to continue plundering our nation. It's not going to happen. So thank you, Zimbabwe, for joining in on this episode of Karina Live, and let's meet again on another episode. So a pleasant Friday night and a happy weekend ahead. Good night, Zimbabwe.